June 6th, 1944, D-Day. Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, France to free our European allies from tyranny and oppression. "70 years later, troops again arrive in Normandy, this time to honor those who fought and died in the largest amphibious assault ever.
Come on, let's go!
On April 25, 2014, more than 5,000 youth and their families set up tents and campsites for a weekend of fellowship, remembrance, and reflection.
We're out here basically to educate the kids, give them the opportunity to get outdoors, experience the scouting experience in a historical realm. I'm hoping they'll soak this up like sponges and understand what this is all about.
Organized and hosted by the Transatlantic Council of the Boy Scouts of America, the Normandy Camporee is a unique opportunity for Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, and venturers to gather with youth groups from across Europe to engage in a celebration of scouting while learning about the Allied landings at Normandy and the sacrifices made during D-Day to establish an enduring peace.
Bringing the scouts out here, show them a little bit of what happened and why it's important, and enjoy the beautiful weather.
Good morning, Girl Scouts!
Woo! We are the Launchstool Girl Scouts, Troop 978, and we just came to participate in the Normandy Remembrance and the 70th anniversary and 100th anniversary of World War I.
The first troops in the battle for Normandy landed in gliders late at night on June 5th.
Today we're looking at the different sites that played key roles in the Battle of D-Day and the Operation Overlord. We're starting here at Pegasus Bridge, because the Pegasus Bridge was where the first ground fighting took place, where they took these major bridges in 3 or 4 different areas.
We're here today to learn some about the history about what happened here at Pegasus Bridge. I hope to come away from this with more knowledge about what happened and what the soldiers here did to help to win the war, World War II, and the things that they did and the sacrifices that they made.
The message I want Scouts to hear today is that number one, everybody can be a leader. They have an opportunity. Everybody throughout the whole D-Day campaign was at one point or another a leader. And so for Scouts today, the message is go out and be a leader. Take advantage of the opportunity, whether you're a patrol leader and being with your troop. Go out there. Everybody can do something, and everybody has that opportunity. The second thing is that it's about patriotism and freedom, and they have that opportunity. It was bought for a price, and so they need to recognize that. And I hope that they'll take an understanding of the sacrifices that people made, and that the history that surrounds Normandy and the beaches around here.
Paratroopers from the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions descended from the skies over Sainte-Marie-Glisse in the early morning hours of June 6th.
One of the key actions of that fight that went around here, it prevented German soldiers and reinforcements of supplies from getting out to the beaches, and that allowed the beach landings to be successful.
It's actually been really cool. It's nice to see all these places that you've read stories about and seen in the movies, and actually just kind of see it all laid out. It's actually.
It means for me to be here it means that people haven't stopped remembering what happened here. It really changed the course of World War II, and that people still care about all the people who sacrificed their lives just so we could have our freedom.
Today, Sainte-Marie-Glisse honors its D-Day liberation by displaying a replica of the American paratrooper hanging from his parachute from the church steeple.
This is Utah Beach, and you saw where they would come across. Look how far out the water is. They had to come through barriers that were all across there, and then they had to make their way up through those barriers and then go inland.
My favorite part of the weekend was visiting here at Utah because I thought about all the soldiers running up here and their bravery, trying to dodge all of the obstacles and people just shooting at them. Makes me feel sad and proud.
I want to keep it fresh in our young generation's minds. That's one of the main reasons for this trip. You know, to let the boys actually see. I mean, they see movies of Saving Private Ryan, The Longest Day, The Big Red One, but they don't really get a feel for it because, again, it's just a TV show or a movie that they're watching.
The Normandy Camporee is a premier event for the Boy Scouts and for the government of France. A reception was held to recognize and thank representatives of the Boy Scouts, the French government, host communities in Normandy, and key volunteers for their service and efforts in making the Camporee possible.
Normandy's a special place. People think it's a place of maybe somewhat negative because it was a war, but it really was kind of brought countries together. I spent yesterday with one of the head of the World Scouting Organization. I told him I was coming to Normandy. He says, have a great time. He says, you should know we Germans are appreciative of what happened at Normandy too.
What we would like for this weekend for our scouts to come away with is actually having one strong moment, whether that's at the campfire when a tiger cub sees a 15-year-old receiving his Eagle Scout badge, you say, I want to be that someday. I want my badge on Omaha Beach. And he sets a goal for himself that he's going to stay the path for 10 more years. We want perhaps somebody to go to the American Cemetery and visit and have a private graveside service and understand the meaning of sacrifice and service and dedication and duty to country in a way that they maybe never have understood before. We want people to go to the multimedia ceremony and understand that scouting just isn't about their own troop and their own community, that we're part of a worldwide brotherhood. But hopefully all the things that we do this weekend, each youth will find meaning in something different. There's lots of different things. There's group activities, there's private, personal moments, but each one finds their own meaning in being here, and they take it forward with them into the future, that in some way we've touched their lives.
The learnings from this Camporee are not the same as the learnings from other Camporees. Other Camporees, we learn about teamwork and challenges and working together and getting to know people from other parts of your community, and that all applies here in spades as we look across the EU and other countries. More importantly, what this Camporee celebrates in D-Day is the learnings of the importance of leadership, of one individual stepping up and doing their job and finishing their mission. How important it is to have leaders to drive and to push you beyond yourself. That's what they'll learn at this Camporee, and that's what Scouting teaches our young people. We are desperate in this world for leaders who are decisive, who make decisions, and who act. That's what we hope we'll get from this Camporee, and I'm sure they will.
What I really hope that they come away from this weekend is what is really a sense of what it is to be a scout. That is what we say every day about doing your duty to God and your country and to help other people. And where else can you get that sense better than here in Normandy, where those sacrifices were made 70 years ago, so that we would have the freedom today to do exactly what we're doing.
An all-faith service was held at the 1,000-year-old Cathedral of Bayeux. Bayeux was among the first cities liberated following D-Day. The highlight of the peace service was the dedication of a new church bell patterned after the American Liberty Bell. Named the Peace Bell, youth representatives of the 9 warring nations in the European campaign during World War II each rang the new bell. Now installed in the cathedral's belfry, every ring of the peace bell hereafter shall be a reminder of sacrifices made for freedom won and continued hope for everlasting peace. The Boy Scouts are renowned the world over for their campfires, and the campfire at Normandy Camporee was no exception. Camporee participants and their families gathered on Omaha Beach Saturday afternoon for a special campfire, opened by vigil members of the Black Eagle Order of the Arrow Lodge. The OA ceremonies team led the Webelos Arrow of Light crossover ceremony. Wayne Perry, the National BSA President, Tico Perez, National BSA Commissioner, and Wayne Brock, Chief Scout Executive of the Boy Scouts of America, then assisted in the presentation of Eagle medals to more than 30 scouts who earned the rank of Eagle.
It's a great honor to have it here where all the men 70 years ago fought and died for our country, and it's just amazing to do it here. I also had my crossing over here too, so that's very, very amazing for me.
I think it's just really exciting to be here in such a significant location and be able to receive that honor here.
Camporee participants and their families assembled at the site of the Omaha Beach Memorial for the evening's entertainment, a multimedia show and fireworks display.
We've had a great experience here in Normandy. The message is that there's so many nationalities here. We have, of course, scouts from France, scouts from Germany, Danish scouts. I saw Swedish scouts, saw scouts from Switzerland. It's a big brotherhood, and we're just part of this brotherhood. And the message has to be that let's all work together and be messengers of peace.
The Normandy Camporee ended on Sunday morning with the gathering of scouts at the American Cemetery at Omaha Beach. More than 9,300 Americans are buried at the American Cemetery. They died in the D-Day battles and in the battles that followed for the liberation of France, Belgium, and Germany. The ceremony at Omaha Beach Cemetery was poignant and, for many in attendance, emotionally overwhelming. Each of the scout units attending the Camporee laid a memorial wreath at the reflection pool overlooking acres of manicured lawns, of white marble crosses and stars of David.
As you go through your lives, there will come a time when, much like the heroes we honor today, you will find yourselves in situations where there appear to be no easy choices. Much like these brave men, you will face your own beachhead, your own moment at the cliff, where you cannot stay where you are. There is no good retreat, and moving forward is not such a good option either. We all face those times. You will make the right choices, and you will make a difference in the lives of others. I want you to remember, however, that being brave can also mean a lot of things. It can mean charging a machine gun nest and saving a life, but it can also mean doing the right thing by standing up for someone who's being mocked, someone being bullied, or someone being attacked by peer pressure. And oftentimes, bravery isn't even visible. It's pushing yourself to do what is right, to make sacrifices for others even when it's hard, even when no one is looking, and even when you really, really don't want to. I hope you have great memories of Normandy and this event. I hope you'll leave for home with an appreciation of the great history and a renewed dedication to liberty and freedom. I hope at the end of this journey you'll realize that you are following the footsteps of heroes by honoring their sacrifice and living your lives with meaning and purpose. I hope you leave knowing that you can make a difference and that when you face your own moment at the cliff, you'll remember your scouting training and that you are the leader others will look for. I hope you continue to love your great country and scouting. God bless all of you. God bless the Boy Scouts of America, and God bless America.
We cannot and we will not ever forget the brave young soldiers, sailors, and airmen buried here, many of whom were themselves Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, and made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure that freedom and liberty would prevail for all future generations.